So last class we have seen the concepts of scanline. We have solved a problem on scanline fill algorithm. So I would first initiate with the kind of concepts we are going with the internals this weekend. So we have covered, in fact, till here general scanline. Okay, general scanline polygon fill. So I will cover today OpenGL fill area attribute function. This is one of the theoretical concept. So let us go with that, and I would do continue with the other concepts left out, that is two-dimensional geometric transformations, right? But you will have this portion till here. Okay, you could expect the questions from this 1.5 module, and I hope all of you have followed the problem of a scan line and are able to uh, do it with the primitives or the coordinates are changed. Okay. Now let me go to the concepts of OpenGL fill area attribute functions. And first 20 minutes I'll do this, and I have few of the discussions with a few of the students who are not able to execute the Q program. Problem where exactly they do come across the problem, we'll discuss last 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so we have seen scanline. So we have solved this problem also, the scanline last class. So you could see the video, those who have not followed, they can once again see the video how we have done that. Next, OpenGL fill area attribute functions. This is also a topic being included for the internal. So in fact, uh, OpenGL fill area attribute function, we do use because we do, if you want to display uh, generate display, that is in the different style we want to display your convex polygon that is to be filled. So we could define in 4 ways. One is to define a fill pattern, invoke the polygon fill routine, activate the polygon fill area feature of OpenGL, right? So what are the various attribute functions you could see? So there are different patterns through which we could fill up this convex polygon, right? So these are all the theoretical concept. I'll just review through the notes. So what exactly you have this, okay? So basically, if you want to fill up, you have seen, this is one of the general thing that you have seen, GL triangles. So fill with one color, identify this vertex, identify this another with another color. So it is just drawing the 3 lines like a polygon, right? This is GL triangles. So how does the GL triangles works? You know it. It identifies the first 3 vertices and draws the polygon with respect to it. Imagine here 1 vertex, 2 vertex, 3 vertex, only one triangle will be drawn. So our concept is, how do you give this various effectiveness to this, that is giving the smoothness, okay, that is with respect to the texture and interpolation pattern. Okay, see the following part of the code gives the green color, the edges are assigned red color. So front face detection, this is also an important topic. We have covered it while doing a cube. I remember here we have done before a scan line. Here we have done what is the front and back face of the polygon. How do I identify that? With respect to the same point, the syllabus has been set up. So if you could go with the notes, so there is a clear concept, OpenGL fill area attribute function. So attribute function is different. Remember, the question is fill area attribute function. So attribute functions are different, whereas these functions are different, such as, for example, fill area attributes is different. Remember, what all the OpenGL fill area attributes? Fill area attributes are totally different. If this is the asked question, you have to explain the concepts of various primitive functions. That is this one. OpenGL are polygon area functions, polygon fill area functions. Fill area functions are different than these functions. We covered general scan line with the problem. Next, we are with the OpenGL fill pattern function. Okay, so pattern function. So there are many pattern functions. So you just have to remember, memorize, and write it. Okay. So let me go to the next transformation functions. Quite interesting concept that is a major thing that we are going to see in this two-dimensional geometry. Till here you have for internal. This is for external. For the next internal you will have 2D geometrical transformation. Okay. So I was supposed to complete this in the previous class. I could not, as it was a theory, just have to review through what exactly. So I suggest you to go through the notes for this topic, OpenGL front face detection, and what are the, if at all, if it is asked, you should be able to remember or remember OpenGL wireframe methods and OpenGL texture pattern. These are all the stipple fill pattern. This is the different way. How do you fill the convex polygon? That's it, nothing more. That's just have to remember and write the primitives. Okay, so now let me go to the transformations. What are geometric transformations, right? So what are geometric transformation? This is a concept. What is transformation? Basically, transformation, as I said, there are certain changes, right, to a given object, maybe in terms of a movement, or maybe in terms of a size, or maybe in terms of a position. Once again, I say maybe in terms of a position, that is changes, translation, maybe in terms of a some sort of angle, it is rotation. So maybe in some terms, in terms of a changes, that is called scaling. So these are all the concepts. So we have translation, rotation, scaling, basically are called a transformations. Any changes that is being done to the objective or the primitive are called as transformations. So we have geometric transformations and we have model transformations. Geometrical transformation always related to translation, rotation, scaling. Modeling transformation, constructing a scene or hierarchical description of a complex object. Okay, constructing a scene or hierarchical description of a complex object. So there are other transformations such as reflections and sharing. So that we will discuss later. Okay. So let me go to the first topic, basic two-dimensional geometric transformations. Today I'll just discuss in brief, because as I said, I just want to discuss about the Cube program. Uh, I'll come to the point. As of now, just concentrate. We have a translation. Translation means change of an object. Imagine this is the initial point P. So after some certain duration of time, it is being the movement, the position here. What is the value of P? Maybe it is, if I say the position of this is 1,1. Okay, just for your sake, I'll just write it. So if this is, sorry, not, anyway, just see here. So I'm going to, if this point is 1,1, so this point x-axis, y-axis will change, obviously. So I'm not able to annotate it, I don't know. So let me see later. Uh, the value of the x at this point is 1,1, and the value of this point at p dash is, maybe it is changed. So it is being translated along x-axis and y-axis. Some x variation has happened and y variation has happened. So that is how do we write as, Okay, fine. So this X and Y has been changed. So we write the new translation, that is a changed thing in the column matrix. So P equals to along X axis, Y axis, the original coordinate, that is P. So, and a new value of P dash will be X dash Y dash. So, and there is some sort of translation has happened with respect to the, so what is the translation parameters as Tx and Ty. So if we could say, if X dash is nothing but to the previous value of X, I will add some of the translation factors called Tx. Similarly for Y dash, I'll add some of the translation factors called Ty. Clear? Clear? So we could overall, I could write P dash is nothing but P plus T, some translation factors, where P is nothing but X column X, Y, X, Y, X dash, Y dash, and TX, TY. So translation moves the object without deformation. That is, translation never change the size of an object. Remember, translation in one of the transformation called translation funds translation, it never changes the position of the object. Coming to the basic Coming to the basic 2D transformations. So we have 2D translations, that is to move a line segment, right? So similarly, we could move, no, annotations are not happening. Okay, fine. So let me see, let me check after the class. So these are all the translation routines. Okay. So what all translation routines? You could see that if you are translating one of the polygon that consists of set of vertices, so you will add the translation factors, that is Tx and Ty along the x-axis and y-axis. The new vertex k, new vertex, this will be identified by adding the translation factors Tx and Ty within the loop given the number of n vertices. Okay. So this is just with respect to the program point of view. As of now, you don't have to need, just theoretically you need to remember. So translation never changes the size of an object, and it simply adds the translation factors to the previous vertices. Here there is only one point. Imagine there is a polygon with a number of vertices. That time translation factors will be added along the x-axis, y-axis with a different point of view. Okay. So coming to the concept of rotation. Coming to the concept of one more geometrical transformation called rotation. In the case of rotation, again, same as if like translation, the size of an object never change in rotation. Okay. Whereas the movement along one of the angle will be changed. Imagine if this is an initial object, this is a right hand side triangle. So this is a initial triangle. So it is being rotated along one of the axis, that is towards y axis, by angle called theta. Okay. So initial position and the final position has been given. So rotation point, it is also called as a pivot point, along which point it has been rotated. This is a pivot point. Okay. So in terms of an equation, same as if like a column matrix, how do you write? If theta is positive, it is a counterclockwise direction. If it is a negative, it is a clockwise direction, obviously, because you always read an angle from in anti-clockwise direction in positive direction. If it is a negative, you do it in clockwise direction. So here imagine you would write a change in an angle. This is a concepts of trigonometry. Cos A plus B, how do you write like this, right? These are all the formula for cos A plus B and cos A minus B. Now let me see here. Initially my point is here, x comma y. The moment of the point, you don't think of a triangle. This is initially, this is for the concept. The whole polygon is being tilted along a pivot element by theta. Now in this diagram, we are focusing, and you know this formula, you have to remember the concepts of trigonometry. We are just, what we are going to do is here basic 2D transformations in basic two-dimensional transformations. So this is a point called x comma y. So it is being rotated with respect to the angle called theta from here. So initially phi was an angle along this x-axis till here. So from here, if I ask you, just draw x-axis vertically and to the origin, what is the angle? It is phi. When it is being rotated, I'm not able to annotate. Let me check after class. Why is it? So x dot y dot by angle theta. Okay. So theta plus phi is the original angle. So that is what that is being written. So new coordinates x dash y dash is been written here. So r cos theta plus phi, this is being written using these formulas. Similarly, y dash has been written using this formula. And solving this, you get what is x equal to r cos phi, y is equal to r sin phi, where x is this one. So you could calculate x dash and y dash as this. Okay. So let me not move further. So we have one more rotation we have. So let me not, I'll go with some other topics. I could not actually, I need annotation here to show you, not able to annotate, no issues. For the Q program, hopefully, now I'll discuss the concept of Q program. All of you have understood the Q program. The few people, those are getting few errors in the Q program, exactly what you're going to do is, so maybe there is a problem in representing these faces. If these faces are correct, if the rotation is not able to see, that means here, if you do the mistakes, the program will not execute. Here, there is no problem. If you are able to get the screen and but rotation is not happening properly, here it might happen. This is a totally logical error. If you do error over here, right? If you have mistakes done, here also it happens. So specifically, it is x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and it should be left, middle, right. There is no mix match, left, middle, right, right? It is 0, 1, 2, there is no mix. And if there is an error here also, you may not be able to, you might get the output, but no aspect ratio varies. So you may not be able to see the correct output. So basically where you would have done the mistake is here I said 0, 1, 2 axes. And here also the selecting an array theta of 0 specifically for x axis, y axis, z axis. So maximum in that way. So you verify line to line where exactly you have done. If these faces are mixed also, you may not be able to get, right? And execute the program. So actually I have forwarded one more program also, that is to see the perspective view. So in fact, due to some network issues, I could not execute that. So in fact, I have to do two programs in a single app, the perspective view, right? That is called Weaver functions. We use some Weaver functions. The whole concept is same, except that we use some Weaver. So maybe in tomorrow's class, I'll explain that along with the Bresenham's line drawing algorithm. Tomorrow, maybe I'll go with the two programs, Bresenham lines and also perspective view of a cube. As we have done executed cube, and I suggest you today itself, you execute that first cube program so that tomorrow you find this program easy. That is a Weaver functions using the Weaver functions. I'm going to explain this tomorrow. What is a viewer? Here we'll use, instead of mouse, also we'll use a keyboard functions also. See, we'll use the keyboard functions also. Just we'll see the how exactly we use the keyboard. Okay. And rest of the thing is almost the same. The Weaver functions is almost the same compared to the previous program. Same program. So if you study one program, you should be capable of doing another program. Difference is with respect to the aspect ratio. Here, aspect ratio along the perspective view, we have to change. That's it. Okay. That we'll see tomorrow, right? We use frustum functions instead of GL, these functions. Okay. So instead of GL ortho, we use a frustum function. There is a frustum function specifically for a special purpose. Okay. So now you could give the attendance. Those who have not given the attendance in the chat session, and anything you just want to discuss chat, you can discuss over the chat.